Dogs are not our whole lives, but they make our lives whole. We're here today to remember the life of Sugar Mathis, who was our beloved brown lab that just recently passed away. Her untimely death sent waves of shock and sadness through our whole family. Remembering her today, remembering her presence will help us all get through this, how deeply she affected us. First, I'll talk about the events leading up to Sugar's death. Sugar was only a few months old when we woke up and we couldn't find her. We'd let her out that morning to go to the bathroom, but when we went to let her back in, she was nowhere to be found. We searched everywhere. We went out looking for her, yelling her name. We even took Bear with us to see if she could potentially sniff her out to find her. We posted signs and posts online, but she was nowhere to be found. 4 days later, we woke up and saw Sugar laying in the middle of our front yard. We called her to come upstairs, but she continued to lay there whimpering. When we came down to get her, we noticed that her leg was broken in half. We rushed her to the vet to have an emergency amputation, but regardless of our rushing, they called us later to tell us that she didn't make it because she had developed tetanus. It was a very, very sad day. So in order to commemorate her today, I'd like to talk about some of the positive aspects of Sugar. The first thing I want to talk about was how adorable she was. We already had a black lab named Bear, but when we saw Sugar, we knew that we wanted a brown lab as well. We thought she'd be a perfect addition to our family. When we called our landlord to see if she could come be in our tiny apartment with the other huge lab that we had and two other people, she hesitantly agreed, but we were so happy that she did. We got to have our black and our brown lab like we always wanted. We were so excited because we had always wanted one, and now our family was finally becoming complete. Her fur was so brown and silky, and her little teeth were so sharp and pointy. We loved the way she bounded around and made us all feel so happy. Her tail stood straight up, reminding us of the joy through which she looked at life. She never saw anything as sad or disappointing, just hopeful excitement in every leap and bound. We're going to miss your adorable puppy body bounding around our house, Sugar. The next amazing thing about Sugar was her relationship with Bear. Her and Bear were great sisters. They fought, they wrestled, they went all around the house making havoc of everything. It's been so sad to watch Bear grieve the loss of Sugar. As she sits there and lays on the ground looking up at us, wondering what's happened to her. They used to fight so much that they would make a big mess. Eventually Bear would get tired and lay on the ground, give her a little bark and say stop, but Sugar never listened and continued to wrestle her even though she was laying on the ground. Bear will miss Sugar so much. The hopeless look with which Bear looks at us is so sad. We know that she's wondering where Sugar is. The last thing I'd like to talk about is how Sugar was an excellent hiking dog. Our family's always loved to hike. We've brought Bear along on hikes with us since Bear was a little puppy, but she never quite got it. She would always pull too hard on the leash, just wishing to bound through the woods and to never return. It always made our hand hurt so bad. Then we got Sugar, and Sugar was a natural born hiker. It's as if Sugar was born for her paws to go over the dirt path, to feel the tree stumps underneath her toes, and to sniff all the other dogs and leaves that she passed. She was so good at hiking. It was so enjoyable to bring her. I'll never forget one day, Bear was being extra pulling. She pulled on the leash so much that it made our hands red and ache. As she was doing this, me and my husband were discussing how we were going to get this dog to finally be a good hiking dog. As we were trying to come up with solutions, being frustrated as anything, we looked down and saw Sugar, and she looked up at us. She was walking right beside us, not trying to go too fast, not trying to go too slow, just perfectly enjoying her time with her owner and her sister walking in the hiking trail. Sugar, we're going to miss you so much. When we get to the end of the trail, I'm going to miss seeing your little puppy face looking up at me, panting, as if to say, thank you for taking me here today, Mom. We're going to miss you so much. In conclusion, Sugar, we're going to miss you. We're going to miss how warm you got when we cuddled you. We're going to miss how happy you made Bear. We're going to miss how happy you made us. We know that your sense of adventure and love for life is what ultimately got you to the place where you are today. but we wouldn't have traded it for anything because you were such a happy dog who loved us and we loved you. I hope that you're resting now and everything is going to be okay for us eventually. We love you and we'll always miss you.